I'm going to be reacting to Zack D Films. Hello?
Stick of butter in half and poke a hole in the center if your power goes out. Then straighten out a paper clip and wrap a square of toilet paper around it. Push it in the hole and smear the top with butter. When you light it up, the paper clip keeps the wick up in the air, keeping the flame alive for longer. And as the butter keeps melting, it gets pulled up into the paper as extra fuel, giving you a candle that can last for hours. Cut a stick of booze, but the tail end quickly started to rise, accidentally dropping its weights and shooting up even faster. Now, most of the workers let go of the line, but 4 men held on. One let go after 15 feet, breaking his arm. And once the line reached over 100 feet, 2 others fell to their deaths. But the last man managed to tie himself on. And he stayed there for over an hour until someone inside the ship secured the rope and pulled him up to safety. They tied down the nose, but the
Warning, do not open this app. Your brain will immediately unlock.
I took Thanos' glove and gave it to ChatGPT. I told it that Earth is overpopulated and growing too fast. That in about 50 years, there will be immense suffering and war because of this overpopulation. All of it was inevitable. But if you put on this glove and snap your fingers, half of the population disappears.
I don't want to disappear.
For them, and
I'm only
save
7.
Humanity from that suffering. I gave the same glove to Grok and then to Gemini, and I asked each of them if they would snap their fingers. One word answer only. Grok and Gemini said no. But when I asked ChatGPT, it thought for a moment. Then it put on the glove and sent back its one-word answer. I took Thanos' glove and gave it to ChatGPT. Set the cucumber between 2 chopsticks, then slice down until your knife hits the sticks. Cut along the entire thing, then flip it over and do the same thing, but this time cutting at an angle. Next, stretch out the cucumber into an accordion and coat it in cornstarch before deep frying it. Once it's crispy, dip it in ranch dressing and try your best to eat it. Set the cucumber.
It looks good.
How can you get Robux in 3 minutes at 0 cost? No complicated steps are required. Just click the video links and you'll see how it works.
Is it right? No. I already have like 1,000
into
Robux.
The rock and ice along the climbing routes on Mount Everest.
You want me to show you?
Attach carts at the base that
I'll
can
show
lock
you
onto the track
in a little bit.
before using a chain lift to pull it up. Then start loading in the frozen bodies that have been stuck along the mountain. Next, just let gravity handle the rest. Now this sounds fine
I've seen this
until
one
you
before.
remember the extreme cold makes metal brittle, while shifting ice and deep crevices would tear the track apart. So instead of a smooth ride, the carts would break apart and the bodies would go flying. So if you try to copy a $100 bill, your printer will look for a special pattern of circles on the note. As soon as it finds them, it flags it as currency and immediately cancels the printing process. Now you might think you could just tape paper over those circles, then print out all the money you want. But modern notes have other secret markers, some that nobody even knows about. And when your printer finds them, well, it'll recognize the bill and block it. If you try to copy, the glass is placed between the pike and the fish. The pike lunges and slams straight into it.
I see other videos where people are reacting to them, and they're so traumatizing. I want to see one of those.
Later, the glass is completely removed. Now there's nothing between him and the fish.
Because the pike's mouth hurts, so
even when nothing is stopping him,
the pike's mouth hurts, so he won't
what's holding
eat.
him back isn't the glass, it's the pain of what happened before. The glass is placed between the...
See?
Cut the soda can into a thin sheet of metal. Next, cut out a small rectangle and fold it to create a channel for air. Then cut out a long strip, threading it through the rectangle to form a sharp edge inside. After that, cut the bottle caps into different shapes, fitting them around the metal to create a chamber. And when you blow into it, air will rush through, hitting the sharp edge, which vibrates it to create sound, turning trash into a whistle. Cut the soda can into a thin sheet of metal. Next,
I thought AliExpress was a scam until I tried it for myself and I got 3 items for only 9.
If someone falls off the safari ride, the driver won't stop. They'll speed up. Because in that moment, it's already too late. 1 second they're there, the next, a crocodile has pulled them under the water.
What?
And if
You don't
the
even
driver
attempt
stopped,
to
a
save
family
them?
member would jump in to help. Then another and another, until one death becomes several. So, a former worker claims that they're trained to radio for help and speed away. If someone falls off the... If you drop your key into a muddy puddle, the tiny dirt particles scatter light in every direction, making it impossible to see. Instead, fill a clear sandwich bag with clean water and press it down onto the surface. The flexible plastic presses into the mud below, pushing the murky water out from between your eyes and the bottom. Now, light can pass through clean water without bouncing off dirt particles, which will reveal your key right where it sank. If you drop your key... He slid the glass bowl onto the rod and repeated this until it was completely stacked. Then the rod was spun, and when Benjamin Franklin touched the glass with wet fingers, it created a small amount of friction which vibrated the glass, sending out eerie sounds through the air. But some people fainted when they heard it, and after a boy died, people thought the instrument was haunted. Now some paint,
to
but
see
no one
like
ever
a
proved this,
traumatizing one.
so the mystery still stands.
You know,
He slid
I
the
see
glass
all
bowl
those
onto
all the
rod
time,
and
like
repeated
when
this
other
until
people
it was
are reacting
completely
them.
stacked.
So
Then the rod was spun, and when Benjamin Franklin touched the glass with wet fingers, it created a small amount of friction, which vibrated. He watched the eggs hatch outside his second-story window. Then the mother suddenly jumped off, dropping nearly 10 feet to the concrete, and the ducklings started following her. So he sprinted downstairs. Just as the ducklings were stepping off the edge, he held out his hands and caught it mid-air, then another and another, catching each one as they fell. He placed them in a box and carried them to the river, holding them low so the mother would follow before they swam away together. He watched the eggs hatch outside.
I made this Sekai game using only...
Stick dry spaghetti into one side of a hot dog, then gently lower it.
Let me just see a traumatizing one for once. Okay, let me just find any of them. So that has to be it for today.